Okay, spooky peeps, I've had a few people ask me about this cemetery fence that I've built, so let's get started with a tutorial. This is what we're working with. This is what I've created last time. The finials just pop off, and there's some details in there. This has already been rusted. This is what I'm aiming to cover in this tutorial. And this is some of the extra details in the center. I've just bought these from Amazon online. I think they were $6 for a pack of 7 or something like that. So I've got a whole heap of packs. So I think I had about maybe 30 I've pre-ordered. Now I've run out, but I know I need to get some more. But I will pop the link to where I got these from as well. But they were super cheap. Even cheaper than Temu. The first thing I do is paint these. Hot tip, got these from an irrigation place. They are way more expensive at Bunnings. Do not go to Bunnings. They were in 6 metre length, so I've just cut them to put them in the car. Or the people at the place will actually cut them for you. So now I'm just measuring up, getting rid of any stickers that are on the timber. These timbers are 1.8 from Bunnings. They do sell them longer, I think in 2 metres or 2.2 metres, so you can go with that also if you'd like. But I found the 1.8 metres are really good so that I can have them attached to a pillar on either side as well. The 1.8 also stores really well in my shed, so just look at the practicalities of things. I have drawn inspiration from every single YouTube that I can find. I've decided to measure them 50 centimetres apart. I placed them on the ground to just see what they would look like that far apart, and that seems to be the one that works the best, is every 50 mil or 5 centimetres. And I'm just using Ryobi. I've just found Ryobi's quite cheap, and it's just enough for what I guess I need to do for my home haunting supplies. So here I am measuring out the 5 centimetres along, just making sure they all kind of go together at the same spaces. When you're using this hole saw, just make sure that you put the hole in the center of the timber, or it's going to be, if it's off center, then the PVC pipes that are standing up will be, some will be in front, some will be behind. You really want them to be as even as possible. So now that we've got this, we need to replicate this 3 more times. Takes ages, but anyway, it depends what tools you're using. 2 of them are going to be exactly the same, and 1 is going to have every half missing because we don't have that much piping going all the way up on some. It's every second one is a shorter one. I'll show you what I mean. So here we only have every second one comes up to there. So we only need to drill every 5 centimetres in the first 2, and then this one doesn't need any in the middle. So I've made my short parts of the fence about 80 centimetres, and I've made my talls about 1.5. So I want it to be about my height. Yes, I am very, very short. So I've got 1.5 talls and 80 centimetres shorts. You might have some offcuts left over from this, but keep them. You never know when you can use them in the future. The PVC, the pipe cutter, is amazing. It makes life so much easier. That's about, they're about $20, I think, from Bunnings as well. And once again, if these don't chop or you don't cut them with perfection, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. You're not going to see that. Once you chuck the finials on it, even if they're slightly, 5 centimetres shorter or whatnot, chuck them on there. It's going to look aged. It's going to look old. Sometimes things get broken. Sometimes those things that aren't symmetrical actually look better. And here we have our timbers, our shorts, and our longs. So we've got 7 large, 6 small, 3 wooden rails, so that's what we're working with for most of it. And then just get it all lined up kind of straight on the ground. You can do this on top of a table. You can do it wherever you want, just to see how it's going to look. You want to know what you want for your measurements between your timbers. I heavily relied on looking online for this to see how other folks have done it. And write down your measurements so you don't lose them. I learned this the hard way by having to re-measure, seriously, probably 30 times, because I just kept on forgetting. And then I lost my piece of paper, then I'd write it down, then I'd lose that again. Now we want to get these drilled into place. We want to get the ends drilled in first. We want to get a couple in the middle drilled in so that we can stand this up, so that we can actually start to drill it in standing up. Now this is going to be pretty strong now once you stand it up. There will still be little bits of PVC piping that could fall out, so that's why we're standing it up. We're standing it up so we can drill in all the rest of it, so we can then move it, paint it, do whatever else we need to do to it. Go in and just add the rest of our screws to every single point where there is a piece of PVC pipe and timber. Here is the cutting of the phone mats. And I've just attached where I bought it from at Bunnings, super cheap. I've cut them in they're at 2 centimetre thick-ish. You can cut them as thick as you want, however is going to fit on your fence for the details. I've used a hot glue gun to stick. I did actually use a super glue. It's holding on there fine. However, this is going to be much stronger and I can see the difference already. So use super glue if you want. I used Gorilla Glue, that didn't work. Then I used Loctite, I think it was Loctite glue from Bunnings, that worked much better. But this seems to be the way to go if you've got a glue gun. And I'm only applying very minimal pressure. But it's just so flexible, you really can make it whatever you want. You can put more embellishments or more details on it if you'd like. This part's really fun, you can kind of do what you like. So the holes that we've drilled are here. We've just drilled these holes to give it extra strength. That way the PVC pipe doesn't move. And we've just started to add some nice embellishments. And that's just done with floor matting, like camping floor matting, foam mats, whatever you like. They're like $9. Super light. I'll lift this up one hand. Don't want to brag, but super light. But yeah, all in all, this is our part one. So in part two, we're going to cover this with black, and then we're going to add all the extra embellishments that will make it look gothic. And then we're going to add all the extra colours and all the extra textures. So we're going to add some rusties, we're going to add some greens, we're going to make it look aged.